Hi, my name is Francois and I am a super teacher. Exams are here, and with that comes the one thing that I hate the most about the teaching profession: exam invigilation. In this episode, I'm going to argue for why teachers should not be doing exam invigilation. Let's educate. Exam invigilation. Why are we doing exam invigilation? If you actually think about it, exam invigilation is the utmost form of distrust. Of course, there are many other functions to exam invigilation, like handing out the papers, ensuring everybody starts on time, all the administration that goes along with administering an exam. But the big focus is on ensuring that children do not cheat. And that's very negative. In a perfect society, you would rely on people's integrity to ensure that they do not cheat in an exam. But unfortunately, human nature and the desire to be better than other people won't allow that. Why do children cheat during the exam? Most likely not to disappoint teachers or parents or friends. They would like to show that they are capable of achieving a specific level. So to prove the integrity of an exam, we have to show that it was free of irregularities, and therefore, exam invigilation. Exam invigilation was the one thing that I hated the most about the teaching profession. Spending all of that time just walking up and down in between the desks, ensuring that children are happy that they can write their exams, but it's brain-numbing work. I often found myself just trying to invent new games or something to do because I was bored stiff with walking up and down for hours and hours. Is this really the best use of our teachers' time? I don't think so. There are many other ways of ensuring that an exam is credible without using teachers as the resource. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Just imagine what a teacher could do with their extra time if they were freed from exam invigilation. For one thing, the deadlines imposed on teachers to submit the marks for the exams is crazy. You have got a limited time to assess piles and piles and piles of exams. So the question is, with this pressure, how accurate do teachers mark? If we free up this time, teachers could spend a lot more time properly assessing exams. Just imagine what type of lessons a teacher can design for the following year or maybe the following semester if they spend that time planning these lessons. Let's not even think of all the administration they could get done in that time. All in all, freeing up a teacher's time by taking away exam invigilation benefits the entire system. There are also a few issues when you have teachers in the same exam venue as the learners. The same learners that they taught for so many years and they've grown accustomed to, or there's a bond between the teacher and the learners. Teachers could inherently be biased and maybe unintentionally give away answers or give some assistance to the learners. When there is a familiarity between the learners and the teachers, the learners tend to feel more prone to ask questions that could guide them towards an answer. Or when they're unclear about an instruction in an exam, they would ask the specific teacher. Now, of course, this is not allowed. So when you take the teacher out of the exam venue, the familiarity is gone. And then the learner would not want to ask these questions when there are strangers in their midst. Now, I'm not saying teachers are accomplices when children cheat, but there is a little element of bias when teachers are invigilating the exams. And the final point I'd like to address is that there's always staffing issues when it comes to organizing the exam invigilation timetable. Some teachers have a larger load when doing exam invigilation than others, and this creates dissent within the ranks. I haven't met any teachers that are truly happy with the workload when it comes to exam invigilation. Fairness is of utmost importance when you design the schedule for exam invigilation. Therefore, when you take this away from teachers, they will be much happier in doing the administration part or the marking part or just designing lessons or planning for the following year or semester. Now I know many of you watching this are probably shouting out, how can we do this? Because there's always a budget implication. If you replace the teachers with anybody else, you would need to pay them. And we know already many of the schools in the country won't be able to afford to pay for external or independent exam invigilators. And maybe we should open this up to discussion. How can we get the teachers out of the exam halls? And my suggestion is consulting the community. Getting the community of the school involved in exam invigilation. For instance, we know there's a big problem in our country with parents who cannot afford to pay school fees. What about if we substitute their school fees for work that they could be doing for the school? In other words, having parents or older siblings or anybody that maybe is unemployed, getting them to assist with exam invigilation. I know this is not an ideal solution, but it's a start. First of all, you create some value for the unemployed members of the community. They feel that they can contribute in a way that is maybe not monetary. So they can uplift the school in one way or another. So they are contributing to the community. Unfortunately, the logistics in arranging something like this would be horrible to manage, but I do think the pros outweigh the cons in this situation. If we free up the time of the teachers, you will be much more productive as a school. So let's make that the question of this week. How do you suggest that we solve this problem of getting the teachers out of the exam halls? Or maybe you disagree with me and you think that teachers are the ideal people to be in the exam halls. I'd really like to hear from you, because that is what this channel is about. Creating a community where all of us can open a discussion to improve our schools and our classrooms. So if you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see all super teachers unite under one banner. Until next time, I'm Francois and I am a super teacher.